Welcome back, guys. I'm the Internet GM, Raider Dave, here at GrimeCast Media. We got our mock draft completed, all 7 rounds. I'm dropping the first rounds, pick number 7 today. Stay tuned for this. And just so you know, this morning, it was round 7, pick number 231. That was made. This was a 2-week process. This was a 3-month entire process. And like I said, no mock draft simulators or anything involved with this. This is the thought process of 31 other people who love football like myself, who do mock drafts. I've been doing mock drafts for probably 30 years now. And it was a real huge, man. These guys call me up and say, hey, dude, you want to draft for the Raiders in our mock draft this year? I was excited to do so. Like I said, a couple times I felt like I reached, but then again, who knows, man? The draft is 2 weeks away, so we're going to see what happens. Let's get into this pick here. All right, our pick is in, dude, and here we are picking Devin Witherspoon, number 7 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. We could have traded back probably to get him because, some had him ranked in the top 35, some have him in the top 15. Well, number 6 overall, Detroit Lions, they take Christian Gonzalez. Therefore, I'm taking Devin Witherspoon all day because no matter what, at number 7, I was hoping one of these cornerbacks would fall to me. Devin Witherspoon, I'm a bigger fan of. He's more proven. He's got more of the island style where he is just literally shutting down one side of the field. I like aggressive corners. I like cornerbacks talk smack and they can back it up. I like it. Devin Witherspoon is that guy. So we're just going to get into his report, what we think about him, and let me know what you think in the comment box as we go. So let's get into it. A long overdue need for the Raiders is that of a defensive back who can locate the soft zones and disrupt a player like Travis Kelce. The Raiders tried this with Jonathan Abram, who smack talks, who got lost in coverage, along with poor angles in the pros, and Kelce took advantage. Just think back of that Sunday Night Football game. He got Jonathan Abram all day with his eyes, and Jonathan Abram bid on it, costed us a game, and it was a game-winning score for Travis Kelce. So we do need players that know how to react instinctively to plays like that, especially on a crucial drive like that, a game-winning drive. That's when we really need our defense to step up. Now we enter the Devin Witherspoon era, who also does smack talk, but the film backs his claims as a hybrid safety role. And he can play it. He can play it. And the reason why I say as a hybrid safety is because he doesn't have the size and the length to do it, the build, I should say, but he has the tenacity. He can get under Travis Kelce's skin in that situation. So in certain schemes, I would feel safe with Devin Witherspoon creating some havoc for Travis Kelce. Just getting under his skin from that standpoint, annoying him, frustrating him, getting to throw his helmet off. He threw his helmet off, I think against the Bengals. He hucked his helmet across the field. Bengals got that team figured out. The Bengals match up very well with the Chiefs, and I think they're the better team. So we got to figure something out on our end. We're going to be competing with this team twice again this year, man. So crucial. And it's crucial we find a way to win the West if we can, So he could be the... He could be the answer for Kelce in coverage. He can get after Mahomes on the blitz, which is very true. This guy gets after the quarterback on a quarterback blitz, so you can send him, like I said, in a scheme, you can drop pretty much anything for Devin Witherspoon. He is a violent defensive back who can immediately change the dynamics in a defensive scheme. This selection will get Andy Reid's attention. I'm going to just go through a little quote here. And that is, the Raiders select the human missile. And remember, I called Jonathan Abram the human missile. I'm just looking for that human missile to disrupt things. So the Raiders select the human missile, Devin Witherspoon, who will operate as Patrick Graham's next best warhead in this defensive build. Anyone that loves watching the Honey Badgers film, then get a sneak peek of Witherspoon's tape because he is one of the most versatile defensive backs of this class. Witherspoon delivers an impressive handsy combat style and coverage to pair with excellent foreseeable play recognition and run stuffing angles. So we'll get to our final conclusion here, and that is it's just regards to Lance Zierlein and his analysis. This was what made the pick kind of hard. I like a lot of what Lance Zierlein writes. He goes in depth on his scouting reports. I respect him. Now, I've heard his audio podcast. I don't, when you listen to him, he's a little different. But other than that, I like his observation. I like what he puts on paper. And, that's what made me really contemplate and really consider some of the flaws that Witherspoon has as far as measurables and a little bit of his game. But so we'll get into our final conclusion now. Lance Zierlein was his largest critic, and we do respect his evaluation. He could very well correct he could be very well correct that Witherspoon is a cornerback number 2 or a nickel. All because of measurables and no combine testing. Well, to clear that up, I believe he ran a 4.43 at his pro day a few days ago, so that's out of the way. Now, Christian Gonzalez was also high on the Raiders board, factoring his testing, range of coverage, level of competition, including his age of 20 with so much room to develop in the NFL. The Raiders selected Witherspoon and also having good fortune with Big Ten defensive backs. You're going to love this, Raider Nation. Jack Tatum out of Ohio State, Charles Woodson out of Michigan, the first defensive player to win the Heisman there. They also drafted Nate Hobbs in the 5th round and in the 2021 draft, who has shown flashes early on. Now we enter the Devin Witherspoon era. Welcome to the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'll just kind of go through a quick little summary here of some of his best, his worst, and I hope I didn't mess up my audio bumping into that thing. His best is his football IQ, his tackling, competitive toughness, run defense, pass defense. He can mirror hip to hip, quick to recover. And like I said, when not quick to recover, you'll see him playing in space at times, man, and he reacts very well. Sometimes it's just barely getting there in time to break up the pass, fingertip breakup or something like that, and he really had to stretch out to make the play, but that's what I like about the cornerback. It's really showing his instincts and how he sees things. It's almost like he knows what's coming his way. So he has the lockdown skill set, and he has an amazing combination of every skill you want in a defensive back. So now his worst, measurables at the position, slightly though, man. It's so, like I said, these analysts, man, and it is a game of inches, so I agree. I agree with what they're looking at, and you do want your cornerback to be 6 foot, 6'2", 200 pounds, 33 inch. You want him to have long arms, good wingspan, all that. So so I do agree, but the way the guy plays on the film and the tape and all that, everything falls into place for Devin Witherspoon to be one of the perfect cornerbacks in this league. If not, Christian Gonzalez really is like the perfect ideal cornerback, but Devin Witherspoon's playing style is literally, it's one that cannot be denied. So measurables at the position, and the fact that he could be a cornerback number 2 or the fact that he could be a nickel is at worst. He needs to work on his hands past 5 yards. I do agree with that. He's very combat, he's a combat DB coming off the line. He wants to fight you. He wants to scrap the whole way down the field. So that is something they'll definitely have to clean up. But then again, you get away with some of those in a game, and so the refs don't call it all the time. So, now the projection is a starting defensive back who should get his shot in the NFL to be a cornerback number 1 with shutdown upside. And so we'll just kind of go through some little points here throughout the what we wrote down, and that is he a corner or is he a safety? He has the IQ to play both positions. I agree with that. He's an elite boundy corner with the ability to close off one side of the field. He plays his best on an island. I agree. Like I said, he could give you a little cushion where he's pulling back, and and if he needs to read and react, he can, man. 75% of his defensive snaps were in man coverage. He was a 22 Big Ten Tatum Woodson Defensive Back of the Year. That's last season. And then he was also the Senior Bowl All-American the year before. And then PFF All-American First Team. I like that. Number 2 graded cornerback overall with a 91.6 with PFF and including a coverage grade of 92 via PFF. Led the nation in forced incompletions with 16. He led the nation. He was 6th in the nation in passes defended with 17. So, getting into our guy here. Sorry, they got all these new tools here on this. I haven't worked with this for a while. I've just been jumping on. There we go. Cool. So, let me know what you think, man. Devin Witherspoon coming out of the University of Illinois, shutdown cornerback. We got Nate Hobbs in 2021. I think he's a perfect fit. And once again, and this is all based on what 31 other people for their teams are thinking, dude. So this wasn't a simulator or anything where we came up with this pick. This was like, hey, we got to make this pick. Let me know what you think, Raider Nation. Much love. We're going to follow up with some more draft picks, here in the near future. Hopefully leading up to the draft, I can get more content out for you and we can further this discussion. If you like the content, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, let the algorithm know that we're trying to speak the truth over here when it comes to real solutions for the Las Vegas Raiders, because this 6-11 stuff needs to stop. And you know what? We got to give Josh McDaniels a fair crack, dude, in 2023. And stop bashing on Dave Ziegler, dude. I thought he had a really good draft last year. I like what they're doing in free agency, dude. I love what they're doing in free agency. They are not splashing in free agency Never worked out for us. We always get a good free agent. Never works out. Get the guys that know how to play this game, that know their role, know the scheme, and you know what? Let's get some hungry football players on this team, and let's beat the Chiefs in 2023. I'm Raider Dave. I'm out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.